Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our weekly Aqualife Expo. With me today, I've got a special guest, Wynand. Wynand, welcome.
Thank you, Willie. I really appreciate it. I never thought that you'd give me this opportunity to get into your studio at this moment, always leaving me alone on site. But thank you very much.
Thank you. Wynand is our site manager, so he handles all the site complaints, the installations, customers, the site, the installers and everybody on site, and up to then, from the site on, we take over from Wynand again. So Wynand, thanks a lot for joining me.
Thank you very much.
And I would like to welcome everybody on YouTube and Facebook as well, on Zoom as well. We would like to welcome everybody. So today we're just going to do a presentation on our extreme tank. Now, Wynand, as you know, this is our main core tank. This is our main focus. This is what we do best. We have made this tank as perfect as possible than what you can get.
Yes.
So let's just dive straight in and look at our presentation. Please enjoy. At Aquadam, we have our saying, we help you save more water for future generations. Just to give you a little bit of a background, Aquadam has been in business since the early 90s, where we actually assisted more than 3,000 customers.
Yeah.
And we have also stored millions and millions of liters.
But yeah, I also just want to add there, when you said from 19 all the years, and if we have to look back at where we are now with the changes that we made consistently to up the product a little bit more with design changes and all of that, that is a very, very big key factor in our success in the smart tank, as you mentioned previously.
Yes, I can also add to that what Wynand just said. We are constantly doing R&D, research and development. We have a R&D plant section at the back of our warehouse where we do constant research and development, new products, new changes. We like to evolve with the market and with the customers, what the customers' needs are. We like to take on special challenges and special projects to assist the customer to whatever they need to have.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree with you with that. And constantly, as we on site busy and we see that we're struggling with something and we can up the design, and that is where the key factor is, to come back to the factory and you guys and the design team in the factory and tell them, listen here, what can we do to up this or get a better design of a certain element or key feature in the tank, which makes it much more advanced than we used to have a couple of years back.
Yes, like Wynand says, so whenever Wynand and his team does occur any problems on site, Wynand will come back to the factory at the R&D plant and they will start building and manufacturing and struggling until they get an answer and to get a solution for the client. Let's move along. So we're going to look at some important information that you guys need today. You will also, the guys that's looking on Facebook, that we did the ad there, that we're going to share some valuable inside information, some industry secrets and some information that is actually important to you, the client, before you make a decision. We would like you to make an informed decision when you do purchase a tank. So we're going to look at what the smart tank is about. We're going to look at some key features. We're also going to look at our design specifications, like Wynand just mentioned, our designs. And we're also going to look at some applications, and then we're also going to look at some examples and samples of tanks where I will then hand over to Wynand, where he can give us some more information on how and what is going on site. I just thought I need to get some new energy and blood into the presentation and to the expo. You guys always just see our sales guys' faces. So I would like to get the opportunity to get our production team in on as well.
It's also nice for me to be out of the sun, out of the wind, out of the rain. Thank you, Willie.
My pleasure, Wynand. Okay, so what is a Smart Tank Extreme? The Smart Tank Extreme is a custom-built zinc aluminum steel corrugated tank, engineer designed to each customer's needs and specification. I just want to add on that one where I say corrugated tank. Most people would think it is a normal farm tank, it's just a roof, a corrugated roof sheet. In fact, that is not the case. I will show you a little bit later why I'm saying that. The Smart Tank Extreme is designed to withstand high wind speeds and is robust for South Africa's harsh climate conditions. The Smart Tank Extreme is fitted with the latest geomembrane technology, liner to store liquids and keeping the liquids safe for human and animal consumption. And I also believe this is one of the key factors for you guys on site when you do the installation, so that we can, when the customer has the need, we can determine what the need are and what type of liner we can also give to the customer.
Not only specifically to the liner itself. I mean, if you just have a look at the design with the high wind speeds that we can withstand with this robust engineered tank that we have at the moment. All of our tanks is actually the same with wind loads and all of that. I mean, if we have to do installations in Cape Town during the winter months, the wind speeds there can reach up to 80-90 kilometers an hour, where we are still busy with installations, and even with the tank not even completely filled, it's still rock solid.
Indeed. So that is why all our tanks are engineer designed, and that is the reason why we can, with an easy and open heart, give you your warranty that we do. We're also the only guys in the industry who's allowing and giving this warranty, which I will tell you also a little bit later about.
I just want to ask something quickly, Willie. You just mentioned there the geomembrane, the different liners that you get. I mean, I'm not in the technical or the design into the tank and what clients can use or cannot use. Can you just give me a little bit of insight for water storage of chemical or whatever liners we can use for that, specifically with the Extreme itself?
Yes, Venan. So our standard design that we designed to, like I said, standard is we use a 720 PVC micron liner. That is a potable water liner. It's an approved potable water liner, which I will also show you a little bit later. We can also use a 515 non-food grade potable liner. And then we can also do some chemicals. So the only thing that we need is we need your design, we need your SG, your pH and your temperature, and then we will be able to give you some advice on what type of liner. Yep. But yes, we can use other types of liners as well in our Extreme tanks.
Perfect.
So some key features and benefits, the characteristics of our Smart Tank Extreme. It's a modular steel bolted tank. So that means the tanks can be relocated.
Now that is also, we've done a couple of that existing tanks this existing year that we are in now, where we moved a couple of our existing tanks that we installed already on farmers and industrial sections, where the client had to relocate it because of developments and all of that coming up. They need to relocate it because of new legislation rules and all of that, with municipality rules and all of that. They need to relocate it. So yeah, I can tell you a lot about that relocations as well.
Yeah, I know we had we do have a customer out in Northwest who actually built these tanks a couple of years ago, let's say about 7 or 8 years ago. And with what you're saying now, new legislation, they only found out now that some of the pipes for Eskom and some of the cables are running underground where the tank currently is. So we had to move the tank. So yeah, so that is a very great, massive benefit. So we design our tanks for a lifespan of over 50 years. And this is where it comes in, where I told you earlier, we are the only company in this industry which carries a 20-year worry-free pro rata warranty. That in itself is
I mean, I was with one company just down the road from the office about 2 weeks ago, and that tank was standing there for 15, 20 years, and we just had to go and do an inspection there, and it was no damage at all. It was actually wow to see. That was even before I joined Aquadam many years ago, but yeah, it's great to see the tanks lasting. That's good.
And if I just may add to that, that was one of our first installations in the early 90s.
When I was still grade 2.
When you were still in school, yes. So in actual fact, the technology we used then and the technology we use now, there's a massive difference between then and now. But still, as you can see, with that being said, our design is excellent, our product is excellent, but let the customers decide for themselves. So another feature is flat packed and easily transportable, tanks can be sent to extreme remote sites anywhere in the world. We are currently doing a lot of exports into Africa as well. So the tanks can be sent to any sites anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I also think that it's very compact, the way we pack it and transport it to site for installations specifically. It's very compact, it's very easy movable. All the components are boxed completely in. There's no loose ends or loose parts traveling all over and all of that. So that is for us, myself, putting up the tanks all over and also doing the transport for some of these tanks. I enjoy the compact, how it gets all stored together and packed away.
Why don't we do our best to keep you and the installation guys happy?
You
and
have to.
In that case, to get our customers as happy as possible. Okay, so our tanks has also been designed to have minimum maintenance required. No need for annual maintenance, unlike some other tanks in the market and industry, which you have to do annually, biannually, and 5 yearly you have to do maintenance. The corrugated profile. This is the strongest profile of any tank on the market, and I will show you again a little bit later what I mean by our corrugated profile. So our design specifications, this is the global standard. So this is the minimum standard that any tank has to be designed to be able to be approved. Okay, so we design according to AWWA, which is the American Water Works Association, SANS 10160, SANS 282-2004, and this is the ASNZS 420. This is what you asked earlier about the liners. This is the potable water liner standard that has been approved by the highest authority, which is this one for PVC liners.
That's good.
Let's move on swiftly. So the applications, where can our smart tank extreme be used for? Now this is where Wynand, if you want to jump in anywhere, this is where you guys come in. So it's potable water storage tank, rapid deployment tanks, remote sites, rural area sites, settlement tanks, septic tanks, stock and poultry, where we are currently busy at some really big poultry customers.
Yeah, Willie, I have to agree with that. I have installed tanks all over, from rural areas to chicken farms to remote areas where you have to travel 2 days per vehicle just to get to the site. Septic tanks we've done as well. It's literally, you can put this tank anywhere. If the soil is compacted and the surface is level, I can put that tank anywhere.
Fantastic. So we can just carry on with the list. Township development tanks, agricultural tanks, mining water tanks, aquaculture tanks, clear water tanks, domestic water tanks, filtration tanks, fire water tanks, forestry tanks, frac water tanks, grey water tanks, holiday resort tanks, industrial tanks, and irrigation tanks.
Is there any tank that there is not?
I believe if there is still any place where, or any industry where we cannot put our tanks, it will still have to be.
Give it to me, I'll put it there.
Please do so. I just want to give you a couple of our smart tank extreme pictures, so you can just more or less have a look on what we do, and I call it wow, how wow our tanks are. But we will go into a little bit. These pictures that you see now is not so most recent installations. So when we go through, I will show you a couple of more recent installations, and that is one of the reasons why I asked Wynand to join us today, to give us some more inside information on the installations. But we will get to that in a second or two. But I believe this is quite impressive. Our tanks are impressive.
I agree with you, Willie. And as I said in the beginning, is if I have a look at some of those pictures and I have a look at some of the sites that we did the installations now recently, a week ago, and the project that we completed is like a massive change between the designs that we used that time and up to now. It is actually mind-blowing to see how I struggled with those tanks those years, and now it's so easy, quick solutions, and everything is good.
Fantastic, man. I'm glad to see positive people. Let's also look at some useful information. Tank capacities, tank materials, and some connections, the nozzle options that we have available. So the tank capacities, the minimum height is 2.1 meter.
That's a baby one.
That's the smallest one, yeah. The maximum height, this is the big boys, 9.02 meters high. Minimum diameter will go along with the minimum height for the small ones. It's 2.99 meter in diameter. And this is the big one, the maximum diameter, 21.69 meters. The minimum volume that we can offer you is 13 cubic meters. That's 13,000 liters. And the big one, this is our pride and joy, 3.2 million liters in a single tank. That's impressive.
That's a lot of water, and it's also a lot of work. You guys sitting in the office, come to site, I'll show you.
Any day, I will take you up on it. So our tank material that we use, this is now for our Smart Tank Extreme range. This is what the tank is manufactured from. So our tank sheets are G300 zinc aluminum. We use grade 8.8 hot dip galvanized bolts, nuts and washers. This is all to the highest standards. This is the 720, it's actually 720 grams per square meter PVC portable water liner that we use as a standard. But like I said, we can use other liners for other applications as well.
That, Willie, just to get back to that, the 8.8 grade hot dip galv bolts, all the tanks where we use that, even during or along the coastline, I must say, to my surprise, even 2-3 years after that, there's no rust, there's nothing on those bolts. It is top quality, and it is so much more efficient using those bolts than the years back that a year along the coast, the bolts are all rusted, you have to replace it all. So the maintenance on this is completely zero.
That's exactly like that, Bernard. So our roof trusses and ladders are also hot dip galvanized. The roofs we use is zinc aluminum roof sheets.
Yep.
Okay. All the flanges and pipes that we use is SANS 1123 galvanized flanges and pipes. The tank connections. Typically the one that you're seeing here, this is an inlet nozzle, and it can range from 50 millimeters up to 200 millimeters. We can go bigger.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, because I've added 350 millimeter inlets as well. I mean, so it's completely up to the client's specifications. If he, specifically in Citrusdal, at the Boss, we installed the 350 millimeters of inlets because the water capacity that they needed on intake at one specific time is the 200 millimeters was just too little. I mean, the volumes that they stored was massive.
Yes, 100%. So we can adjust according to the customer specifications. So at the bottom there, you will see this is a typical outlet, again from 50 millimeter ranging up to 400. I myself have installed a 600 millimeter at one stage many years ago on a tank. Like I said, it all depends on the customer's design and specifications. Okay. So how is the Smart Tank manufactured? So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a glimpse, not to give away too much. These are some pictures that you will see now. I will go into all of these pictures in detail just after this slide. Okay, so this is the one you saw there. This is where everything starts. So when you think about a corrugated sheet, you think about a roof sheet.
Which are in the townships.
In our case, it is exactly not the truth. So this is what you see. This is how we start. This is a zinc aluminum flat sheet, and then the magic starts to happen. We CNC each and every single tank for each and every single customer to their specific needs. It is precision cut to have full quality control.
And that adds to installation. I mean, that it's so easy to install because all the holes lines up, everything just fits in perfectly.
It is basically plug and play, but not that simple.
It's not building Legos.
Not building Legos. So this is our roll former. This is how we corrugate our flat sheet that you just saw. This is our former, where we get the radius of each tank.
The diameter and radius gets done.
So this is now the corrugated sheet after you've seen it where it was flat. So this is not your normal corrugated sheet. And this is how we flat pack it, as I mentioned. And this
For the
is
storage and transportation, it's
Yes.
just much easier and compact.
100%. Okay, Bernard, so now from here on, I'm going to go a little bit over to you. This was some of your most recent installations. I'm talking about the last couple of days, last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
If you can just please, on each slide, just give us a little bit of information, not too much, just to tell us what the application was for and how long it took you more or less to build this masterpiece.
Yeah. Willie, the thing is with that specific tank, that was just for water storage for animal drinking water on a farm. We actually here had a massive challenge. If you can see in the background, there's like a little hill there, or copy, or what do you call it? But yes, but now during the rainy season, once that is installed, we must also take in calculation that the water running from the top of the hill towards the downslope onto this tank can also cause problems. And that is where we also had to basically build an embankment or retaining wall just to let the water coming from the mountainside flowing off, just to redirect that, because it's on the soil itself, and if the water comes under, with a massive flow underneath, it can rupture the ring beam, and that can cause problems. But this specific tank, that was not a very big tank. I think that took us about 2 days to complete from start to finish, where the ring beam took us 2 days. The concrete works on that.
Fantastic. And as you can see, this one I actually had to put this one in. This is quite a bigger tank, and this is actually for one of our key customers.
Yeah.
And that we don't like to give out a lot of information about the customers. That's our IP and our secrets. But as you can see, it's very, very cold. It's very misty, and we refuse to say no, and we refuse not to do the installations, as long as the site conditions allow us to work safely and to keep our workers safe as well.
Easier said than done. It's not you treasuring those colds and the winds, it's me and my installation teams. But yes, that was a very unique site, that one, and also a very beautiful site that is situated in the Eastern Cape. And that was installed during the snowy season in this winter. And it was a pleasure to install, but it was a more pleasure to see it completed in the end. That took us about a week to complete, just the installation of the tank, and I think it was about a 500 or 600,000 liters tank, yeah. But we actually did 2 of the tanks at once. The previous one was already installed, and they asked us for a second tank being installed at the same time.
Yes, and I might just add, for the specific customer, we have done most of their farms. It's actually a massive group, and they have started last year again developing, and they're continuing developing on their farm and to grow business.
Yeah, no, I mean, wherever they purchase or establish a new section of the farm or buy new land, they are always first to listen, we need your help, what will you suggest? What is the capacity that they need, and that according to that we will do the installation and the design for them.
Okay, Venan, this might look like a little small tank, but
no,
I want to add from small to big, little or tall. We do them all. Venan, please give us just a little bit of information. This one was done, I think, not even a week ago. You finished this one.
Yeah, that is actually a fire tank. They use it for fire protection. And the thing is they still use the smart tank application or the design of the smart tank extreme because of the volume capacity that they needed at that stage. That is at a very big shopping center in Johannesburg, and the size of that tank, you can't justify the height of that tank just basically looking at the photo itself. I think that tank is almost 8.5 meters high. And the volume capacity is insane. If you have a look at the pressure at the lowest level, once it's filled with water, it is crazy. But I'm very proud of that tank. It took us a couple of days because we didn't build it from top or from bottom to top. We actually built it from the top. We jacked it every single sheet until we reached the lowest sheet at the bottom, and then we could complete it. But that was a massive, you will see that the other tank on the right hand side, that is tanks that stood there for years, and when I have a look at the other tanks that I used previously, when you have a look at the two differences, it is major.
Yes, that's fantastic. And when the next one is actually quite a surprise. I actually had to turn the picture skew so that it doesn't look like a misinstallation. I can tell you this was one of the most recent skewest sites I've seen for us to actually install these two massive tanks. And these also might look small, but I can promise you they are not.
Yeah, no, Willie, the problem that we actually had on this site specifically was surface, the existing ground level that we had to work with. From the one side, if you look at the picture on the left-hand side and to the furthest side on the right-hand side on the right-hand tank is about 3 meters drop, which we had to reinforce and build up the concrete foundation for this capacity and the weight carriage that it will, the KPI that it will force down on the Mother Earth. It was a massive challenge, but we overcome that with ease, and the client was very happy. I mean, that is one of the nicest installations and one of the happiest people that I could actually see at the end. Wow, this worked.
Yes. Well, so for everybody who's watching, this is where we are on social media, Facebook, YouTube. That's our website address, aquadam.co.za. You can mail me directly, willie@aquadam.co.za. The office number is 012-810-0940, and my mobile number is there as well, 082, let me just move away, 809-0910. So you can phone me, mail me anytime. We are here to assist you. Send us your design, your specifications, and we will assist you.
Absolutely, whatever you need, you know where to find me.
Yeah, always in the sun. I just want to leave you with one question, Wynand, and this actually touches me quite deeply. If we have no water, we have no life.
Absolutely.
So water is life.
Absolutely.
So from Wynand and myself, we would like to thank you for your time. And Wynand, I want to honestly say thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you do for the company, for the teams, for the sales guys. Keep it up. We do appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Willie. I appreciate it, and thank you all for joining us today. It was a pleasure for me also being here. If you have any questions, like Willie said, drop us an email, contact the company with a specific design. No matter how big or small, even if you think it's impossible, we will sort it out. We can make it happen, and I will make it happen.
Definitely, for sure. So that's it for the presentation. We would like to, before we go over to our questions and answers, I would just like to thank my crew outside as well, Rudy, he's the technical guy to the outside. Charlie is doing our platforms, social platforms on the outside. So I am going over to the Zoom where we actually want to incorporate it this week as well, so that we can put Zoom onto Facebook, so that we can have, if there's any questions, so there we are now live on Zoom. The guys who's watching on Facebook, this is now live from Zoom. So Rudy, thank you very much for doing that. I would like, if there's any questions on the Zoom, on the chat, if there's anything from anybody, please feel free. I would like to thank the guys on Zoom as well who took the effort to join us today. Just want to drag up this one screen so that I can look you all in the eye. No, it's not going to work there. Right, so if there's any questions, please feel free to ask them.
Really, I would just like to welcome Dr. Jan Graaf and Caroline. Welcome to the presentation as well today. We are doing the project for them. It's the rotation for more than one tank. We are just looking at the plant to put in the inlet, which is quite large. And once we have that, we will do rotation as well. But if you have any questions, please ask Willie. He is very willing to answer any questions.
Sure, thanks for those kind words. And welcome to your clients. We do appreciate you taking the time out to join us to find out about more what we can do for you and what we have to offer. I see there's another visitor, Sinoko, if I'm spelling it correctly. Would you mind putting on your camera and maybe ask us a question or just say hi so that we can just see your engagement and you actually enjoyed it and you find it very, very fruitful?
No.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Welcome. Hello.
Welcome, Sam, and thanks a lot. We appreciate your time.
We have several questions, but I think it's most practical to put them on email.
100%.
And maybe we can Skype with a technician expert before we decide to start the building of the tanks.
Yeah, whatever questions you need, however technical, give them through to Charles. He will definitely bring them to the technical guys, bring it to me and the factory manager and all of that, so we can sort it out for you. Any questions whatsoever, we are more than willing to help you guys. No troubles at all.
I understand you also do the ring beam installation or construction.
That is for the civil works, yes, we actually do them as well. That is basically from ground, as I can say it, virgin ground. We can do the construction for you guys to get the foundation solid for the tank before starting construction, and that is actually 80% of our clients prefer that we also do the installation of the ring beams as well, because not all of the clients do have the time and knowledge of constructing the perfect civil groundworks or base work for the tanks.
Before we put our questions on email, we have some. Firstly, of course, we compare with competitive companies. Why do you use, you found that the quality of the liner in your company is 75% from competitors. Why is that?
Billy?
I honestly couldn't hear I don't know.
He's asking why the prices of the liners is 75%, am I hearing correct, more expensive than other companies?
Quality.
Oh, the quality.
Yes, the quality. Okay. So, the
Uses 50 grams per square meter PVC liner, and other companies use 1,000 grams.
yes, the reason for that is we are one of the only companies that I might add, and this is not a sales talk or whatever. We are transparent in everything that we do. We give you the prices. Our liners has been developed especially for our company, so we have other extra elements in our liners to give you, the customer, the best option available and the best solution available, where other companies might tell you something else or they have the best, but it's always for the customer to decide. But we are very transparent in saying that we can give you, and we are giving you, the best possible liner. We are also working hand in hand with our liner suppliers on a constant basis with our R&D to, when we get feedback from our clients what they want and what they need, then we give the feedback to our supplier, and then they keep on developing a better liner for us. So if we are, like you said, more expensive than the other company, please give us the technical details from the other company through so that we can compare apples with apples. We want you to make an informed decision.
The question was not the price, the question was the quality. If you use a 750 grams per square meter PVC liner, that's different from 1,000 grams per square meter.
Oh, okay.
The question was, is it thinner? Is it a different, it looks like a different quality.
Yes, okay, so when it comes to quality, our 720 is a approved potable water liner. For the 1,000 micron one that other companies can offer you, I cannot tell you if it is an approved liner. And it's not always about the thickness, but about the coating and the way it is being manufactured that gives you the quality. You can, for instance, put in 1,500 micron or millimeters or whatever, which will not give you the thickness. Is not the quality. The quality is the approvals and how the liner is being made and manufactured.
If I may cut or interject 1000 grams per square meter liner versus the 750. The 1000 gram per square meter liner was food grade liner. The food grade liner does not have all the coatings that we have with the potable liner. The potable liner has got 4 different layers of coatings. One of them being a layer that stops algae from growing. And that is not necessarily the case with the food grade liner, although it is a very thick liner. That's the 1000 gram per square meter liner. But our liner is specifically made for potable, for drinking water. So our manufacturer of the liners have done that liner specifically for this application. More questions?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. What is the inlet? You showed the inlet is on the side, on the top of the container. Do you have inlet through the roof?
Yes, you can absolutely. We are able to do that, but I must also add that the inlet, if you have the inlet right at the top of the roof, we are limited to weight. I mean, specific the size of the inlet that will be on the roof, because it will now have a specific downforce on the sheeting and not a vertical force on the side where it will have. How can you call it, reinforcing from the bottom or more stable from the bottom and the sheets going down. So that is more like a support structure on the side, but we can definitely put up to 150 millimeters inlet at the top. Yes, we can.
How many millimeters?
150 millimeters we can put at the top, yes.
Oh, so we have to go to the side because we need 250 millimeters.
We can, if you can, we can even add 2 inlets, which will basically give you then 300 millimeters altogether at the top, instead of 1.
If the pipe for the going to the inlet,
Yeah.
you separate it in 2 end parts, then you have 2 inlets.
So
Is
we
that
can,
possible?
but what we thought is that the water runs from the source, which is exactly the same level as the top of the container. We have a big pipe, and then maybe at the end we make a bend of 90 degrees and have 2 pipes up of the size you can offer.
Yes, you can.
Possible?
Yes, you can absolutely do that. That will actually act like as a manifold, where you split the 2 pipes up and 2 inlets going into the dam from the top. But one specific size 250 is a little bit too heavy because it's having the downforce right at the roof sheeting, and there's no support. It's just the roof trusses. So if you can't put it directly over a roof truss for support, so it will basically the weight is just too much. But if we put 2 150s with a manifold, split them up into 2 pipes, it's more than we are more than able to do that. Yes.
Okay, because the main pipe needs to be 250. It's calculated by the engineer.
Yes.
To have enough capacity to put water from the source into the container.
Yes.
Regarding this pipe, we thought, is there a possibility to make a kind of a dirt trap to keep sand and debris out of because the water runs down? Maybe we can make a trap.
We
Before the water goes up.
um,
Understand what I mean?
Yes, I understand what you mean. We do have a sort of a dirt trap that we use in our home tank series or home tank range, where the people get the water from the roofs of their houses, and the gutters basically just fill the tank. That is acting like as a trap, but I don't think. I will just have to confirm with the amount of water that you will fill the tank at once, if that trap will be strong enough to withstand the force of water that will be filling the tank at the same time.
Yeah, but just also to add on that, we can also do a diffuser for you, where you don't have that massive 250 millimeter water flowing in on one specific spot inside the tank. We can then just actually diffuse it, so it works basically as an anti-vortex plate. We then just have to use 2 so that the force actually of the water diffuse and doesn't go onto one specific spot onto the tank and onto the liner, which can actually damage the liner if you have that massive force going down at one single spot constantly.
Yeah.
But the inlet flow is not the pressure flow,
No,
but
it's
the
it's
maximum
gravity.
is, yeah, that's gravity, but the maximum flow is 55 liters per second for 250 mil ply.
Okay.
That's the inlet one.
Yes, I'm actually 100% sure that we can assist you with a trap for that. I will just confirm that and get Charles to confirm that with you on writing.
Okay.
If we are able to do that, yes.
Because we don't know exactly how much water is running, because it's depending on the time of the year.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
the calculation of the size of the container is based on the maximum we can get in 1 hour and a fortnight. And that's 1 million liters.
Okay.
Less.
That's a lot of water, yes.
Yeah. That is quite a big amount of water that you can use there, yes.
So we can collect with this tank, if it's a 1 million liter tank, we can collect 1 million liter in 1 hour.
Just that's a massive amount of water.
That is a lot of water, yes.
You guys are fortunate having that water.
Sorry?
You guys are fortunate of having that amount of water.
But maybe that is 2 times a year.
That's what I'm saying.
It can be nothing. Capacity just to store it.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Because the water rights we have, it's a kind of distribution system for farms. Our right is not very much compared to other farmers. It's 1 hour and a fortnight.
Yeah.
And the maximum availability of water, it's, as I said before, 1 million in 1 hour. But that's exceptional these days.
Can be 0 during the whole summer.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Oh, sorry, where are you guys located?
McGregor.
Oh, McGregor.
Yeah.
Eastern Cape.
Western Cape.
Western Cape.
yeah,
Okay,
Western
yeah.
Cape, yeah.
All right.
We're in the middle of two mountains with it. And it's always, we see it raining in the mountains. It exceptionally rains here.
Yeah. Okay, yes. No, I'm sure that we will be able to assist you. I will just get Charles to or I will confirm that and get Charles to answer you on that one in writing.
That's great. And what we really need to know and have some advice is we know the height of the source, and we know we don't know exactly what the level should be where we have to put the tank. Because
She's asking why, because we have a grondverschuiver, you say in Afrikaans, and they have to level the surface, and it has to be deep enough to put sand on, to have
and the ring beam.
and the ring beam, etc. So we need an advisor there. If you know what is what.
Yes.
Mr. Dutoit, is it Dutoit?
Yes, it is.
The tour.
That one.
You've been out.
Yes, my family was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we've sent you some diagrams. We can see the different heights of the surface.
It's a diagram from the land
And
surveyor.
the tank should be, what we thought that the top of the tank should be at the level of the canal.
Correct.
And a little bit lower because of the gradient the pipe needs.
It should be 1%.
Yeah.
So
I see.
the height of the tank makes how deep we have to dig in the surface to make it level.
What I can deduce from the drawing that you sent me is that there's a difference in height of 3.5 meters from the canal height to where you want to have the tank. So we need to work with that and maybe go down a little bit.
It's more. It's
Okay.
272 and 276.7. So it's 4 4.7 meters.
4.7, okay.
4.7 meters is actually quite a lot of, that's quite high. I don't know, what is available space that you have on the surface diameter availability on that specific area?
The spot that we have is 30 by 35 meters.
That's a lot of space.
That's more than enough. We don't even have to go up to 4.5 meters. So from the canal up to the inlets, you can even have a much more steeper decline for your inlet than 1%. If we, with that amount of space, we can definitely put up a not a very tall or high tank, but we can increase in the surface area, the coverage of the area. So instead of having a 5 meter or 4.7 meter high tank, but it's only covering 12 meters in diameter, now we can have a 20 meter diameter, but only 3 meters high.
Yeah, 3.8 or 3.9.
Yes.
According to the, yeah. But just a question, if the slope of the pipe is more than 1%, what does it mean for bringing dust from in the canal to into the tank?
I think that will be. I think that will be site specific. I cannot comment on that right away before myself being in for inspection on the site, because I don't know what is the dirt like in the canal and all of that. But I mean, if we have to go up to 1.5 or 2% slope, I don't think that will be such a magnificent change in the water flow with 1% or 0.5%. I don't think that will be a massive change at all.
Okay, because one of the there's two sources. One is pipe, and we connect the pipe to the reservoir. So it's a valve, we open and close it, so there's not much debris in it. And the other source is a canal system. It's an open system, so there's a lot in it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
From sand
Like
and
leaves on
food
sand.
stones and branches and whatever. So we want to put a kind of grid before to hold the big branches going into the tank.
Yeah.
But if the slope is too much, I don't know if the debris will flow with the water into the tank.
Because the engineer said that 1% of slope would be optimal.
Yes. No, I totally agree. But as I said, if we have to increase it by a 0.5% or 0.5% from 1 to 1.5, I don't think that it will make a significant change in the amount of dust and debris that will come with the water itself.
I mean, another question, I don't know if that's possible technically. We have to open a sluice once in the fortnight, and we wonder if there's equipment, hopefully not too expensive, that makes it automatically, that it opens at a certain time and closes when the tank is full.
Yes.
Otherwise, because if you have a big dam, you can let water go in until it overflows, but this is a limited space in the tank. So it easily, if there's a lot of water, it overflows. So it would be nice if there's an equipment that when the tank is full, the sluice closes automatically, and maybe with a time lock, it opens at a certain time and it closes at a certain time. Does something like that exist?
Yes, you do get like a ball valve. It's basically based on the same mechanism that you do get in the toilet, that the toilet frame at the back. But that works electronically with a pump system from your main water source. So once that ball valve has been pulled or pushed up to a certain level, that will trigger an electrical connection that will communicate with your electrical system or the pump or sluice or whatever to close and shut down at that specific stage. But the technical details onto that pump or sluice mechanism, I'm not an expert in that field, but I do know that you do get electrical equipment and valves that can shut off automatically once it's reached a certain level.
to run, because you're living on top of a copy and in the valley there is tank. So
Yeah.
you have to run one every 2 weeks. It's not too big of an issue, but I'm 75 years old. That's the running
Yes. No, I will also try and find out more details with regards to that and the different options that you do have for automatic electronical open and shut valve systems.
I have another question about the balance between the diameter of the inlet and the overflow. Should it be the same?
No. The overflow will normally sit about 100 millimeters higher than your inlet.
Yeah, but I mean the diameter.
Yes.
Oh, the diameter, yes. The inlet and the... Yes, sorry, I got confused there. Yes, your inlet and your overflow would normally be exactly the same, but if your water intake is much more than that it can accommodate, we have to put in a little bit bigger overflow for the because if the overflow is a little bit too small, then it can't handle the amount of water coming in at one stage.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
or more outlets, overflow outlets, we can do that.
Okay. And a score. Is there a score underneath the tank? A score and a score height for cleaning?
I don't get that one.
A score, sorry, just repeat
Scour,
that.
a scour.
A scour. Oh yeah, yes, yes. No, yes. You do have the option for a scour in the ring beam that basically acts as a bath plug. So if you want to drain the tank completely, to clean the tank, if there's any debris or dust or anything that came in from the inlet or from the canal or whatever, you can drain the tank every 2 or 3 years should you wish to do so and do a cleanup of the liner and the complete tank on the inside. You do have the ability to do that.
Okay. Yeah.
I have a last request, but I'm afraid it sounds nasty. On the first day we contacted you, we are overwhelmed with advertisements. And we know, bit by bit, we know better what we need to buy from you. So all the other information is very interesting, but it's a bit too much. Can you disconnect it from the automatic, sorry, I'd like to say spam, but we'll do that for you.
Yeah. To be honest, for us, we started this whole process 4 years ago. It started with a fight with a neighbor. He tried to prevent us from using our own water. So it was a lot of trouble, and it ended in a court case, and we have a court order now.
We won.
We won.
Well done.
Well done.
We started this process in 3 years ago, in 2016, in having quotes, and since then it's almost spam
Yes.
from your company. So for me it was at that stage that I said to Jan, I don't want to go with this company because it's too much advertisement.
Maybe important for you, it gives an, how to say, antipathy because of the over doses of information. That's the reason why we say, not to blame you.
It's just an advice.
No, you are more than welcome. Everybody, everybody has got their own right to opinion. I mean, that's certainly we will do that. And thank you again for that feedback. That's only positive to us to hear feedback like that as well.
Okay. And sorry we waited so long for decision making. It's a few days ago that we got at last the papers from the Dean's office which endorsed the court order that we can build this tank, because we have to build it on our neighbor's land because our property is higher than the source. That's the reason why.
Yes.
And it took so long just to tell you shortly the background. It's maybe kind of gossip. But when we started to live here, the situation was this. The water from the source comes from the dam, it's distributed by a network to Excel, water, other tank, etc. And so that was a system, and we paid for the full amount of water. We got about 5%, we got 95%, so we thought that's a great solution and very favorable. But after not yet 1 year, he disconnected our water pipe just with a knife. Really, we needed the police to ask to repair it. And half year after that, we got a letter from his attorney that he said, I don't want to store your water in my dam anymore. Our the farmer who says, I don't want to have your water. So we thought, what's going on? And then we found out then we had to start a lawsuit, and which we won, fortunately after 4 years, and because of 600,000 rand. And now we have this court order, so that's fine. And the reason why he started this, because he was attempting to get back our water rights. He has sold them to our former owner, and he thought by doing this, we would give him back his water rights.
Mm.
Of course we are doing, because our property has no value if we don't have water rights.
Yeah, that's actually a bad situation to get stuck into. I'm just glad you guys got it sorted and you are now able to actually get the water you need.
Yeah. So yeah, then we need a big reservoir to be sure that we have water enough.
And be independent of
No, well done. Now, we look forward hearing from you, and if need be, give Charles a buzz or drop him an email. If you need any more expertise or details, you can send it to me. I will gladly assist you guys with any more technical details, and just to get you guys sorted out and get you guys happy and the water that you need as well.
Great, we will do. If it feels like spam or questions, then please tell us.
No.
One last question. Is it possible to have also a quote on 2 tanks of about 500,000
That
liters?
might be cheaper.
I will get you. It's definitely able. We are definitely able to do that. I will, if that is your preferred method of doing that, getting 2 separate tanks running consistently with one another, which will once the one is full, it will fill the other one. You are more than able to do that if you do have the space. I just don't know the value and all of that. I'm not into sales. I don't know what it costs and all of that. I will just get Charles to get you all of those figures sorted out so you guys can have a pretty good decision between the one bigger tank or 2 smaller ones.
Yeah. And in the end, the same volume.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that's all we need.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Great answer and all the information. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
We do appreciate it a lot. And then, Bernard, thanks a lot for all your valuable information. I hope this will be a decision-making meeting for the client, and we hope to hear from you guys soon.
Thank you, Willie. I appreciate it, and thank you for everybody who joined us in the meeting. If there's any questions, feel free to contact us. No troubles at all.
Thanks for your time.
Lead time for a tank.
We thought now we have all the papers done, so for us it would be good if it would be possible to do it in not too long time, because summer comes and then we have no water. And it would be good to have the tank now to get it filled. Because in the conditions of the court order, there are certain restrictions on the time frame we have to fill, etc., etc., etc.
Yes.
At least the earlier the better, for that reason. But
No, as soon as I have received all the documentations from the sales consultant, which will be Charles or Willie or any other sales consultant, as soon as I receive the completed documentation, we start with manufacturing of the tank immediately, and we can get it all sorted within 6 weeks, installation complete as well. thank you very much for you guys.
Thank you for your time. It's a very pleasant way of.
Yes, really. It's the first time we do this.
Yeah.
Oh, well done.
It's technology.
Thanks a lot for doing it this with us for your first time. We do appreciate it. So from me, Willie, and Wynand, thanks a lot for joining.
Thank you.
I will see you again next week. I will do the Rhino tank presentation. So Wynand, thanks a lot, and keep well and safe on site.
Thank you, Willie. Thank you very much, you guys. Be safe.
Thanks. Keep well. Bye bye.
Bye bye.